I understand that you have taken many pictures of UFO and of the Pleiadian. How could you take those photos?
That's a very funny thing. I have my film camera, my photo camera.
Yes.
If I go outside, the most of the time I carry them with me, but I never can get a picture if I not get the order to shot one. If I can get the picture only by an order of the Pleiadians, and then I will get a really good picture.
Did they tell you a reason why they order to take a picture?
For proof.
It's very amazing. Amazing pictures. And may I ask you your background? Could you tell us about your background? I mean, your profession, what you're doing?
You see, in my whole life I was working by about 300 or 320 different professions.
300? Oh. So, what were you doing when...
Just now I call myself as a watchman.
Watchman? Well, what do you mean, just looking up the sky?
No. Maybe in Japan too you have the night watchman. Something like that.
So you were working...
The last business I was doing was a watchman here in Switzerland.
Oh. Well,
and now I'm living from my rent only by 830 Swiss francs a month with my wife, 3 children, and 2 other persons.
So how can you get the money?
That's a rent from the government.
Rent?
Yeah, for my cut arm.
Oh, I see.
That's about the third part of that money what needs other family in Switzerland with 5 or 6 people.
That means government giving you the money or the company? The government?
It's a government company.
I see.
And they pay a monthly rent for my cut arm. 830 francs.
So before then you were working as a watchman with some company? Yes? Some factory? Or?
In a factory, yeah.
In a factory.
Yeah. And other time in Zurich by a watchman company.
Oh, I see. And 1975?
1974 I finished my job. And still from that time I living from my rent only.
Oh, I see.
I'm writing, take my photographs and everything.
I see. Now, so you were...
I'm writing down everything from the contacts, the knowledge, the spiritual teaching and everything.
I see. Now, when you take a picture, could you describe how you're going to do, how you do this?
It's very easy.
Yes?
You know? That's a very simple old Japanese photo camera.
Yes.
I can turn here, you see?
Yes. Oh.
And that I can do very quick by one hand. That the single camera I can use.
Oh.
You can't change anything here. You can see by yourself.
Okay. And it's very easy to use in one hand.
I say that's the single one I can use. All the other they are too complicated because you need 2 hands to handle them.
Just take this way.
Yeah,
It's very easy.
that's very
Yeah.
easy.
I see.
It's very quick.
And when you are taking a picture, there should be many people walking on the road, or living in the house, and or running the car. They might see the same thing.
You see, that's very funny. If you take this here, you think that's now the ship. I'm staying here with my camera. Everything around the ship, up, down, behind, by sides, will be closed. Nobody can see anything. There is a free line only to see something through here, the camera, or to my face, to my eyes. Then I'm staying here, get the picture, to get the picture from the ship. You stay there by the lamp or by the tree. You can't see anything, because there the sighting will be closed for you. It only will be open this way to the camera. And this happens the most time.
How could they do it?
I don't know.
They have, how about this one? You use the tripod with this?
With them, yeah.
Yes.
I put it on the tripod. Then I have here an automatic. And then it works.
I see.
And two, it's a camera, but I can handle by one hand only. It's here.
I see.
That's the single one I can find. Maybe.
And at that time, when was it?
It was outgoing winter time, I think 1976.
The same year of that shot.
It was the same day.
Same day.
Yeah.
And how the saucer coming?
We have got to go there to the front to tell you. You see there behind the mountain,
Yes.
about a third part from here to the mountain.
Yes.
The ship was moving from the left side to the right side. And right side, left side, right side, always on that way.
Yes.
And then at later time, before it left, by sunset, it moves behind there the tree. You have seen the picture, and there I got 3 pictures by
see.
my photo camera.
So how many hours altogether from the beginning?
Altogether, I've been here up for about 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
How many pictures did you take?
Between 70, 90, 100, I don't know exactly. Most of them I lost somewhere, stolen, I don't know.
So this is the site where you took the picture of the UFO. And actually, how did it come? Did it fly?
Yeah, at first I took the film, the movie, and then it was flying always that line, 4 and back, 4 and back. And then at the end, when was going down the sun, also by the sunset, it moves here behind, few meters behind the tree, and then I got here 3 pictures. And the sun was somewhere there behind over the horizon.
And how many minutes it stayed here?
Oh, this was maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds, not more. And in that time I got this tree pictured. It was maybe, I don't know exactly, maybe 5 meters behind, 3 meters behind, I don't know.
And when was it? This one?
That was 1976, I think.
76.
Yeah.
Should be autumn.
Yeah, it's outgoing winter time.
Right. And it was right after the sunset or before sunset?
No, before sunset. You see here behind the ship is the sun.
Yes. So maybe 6 o'clock, 5, 6.
Between 5 and 6, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was evening time, but the time I don't remember exactly.
But I think it's a very huge one, like this dog. And where was the UFO, the saucer?
About 3 to 5 meters here
Somewhere
behind
here,
the tree.
yes.
Yeah, somewhere here up.
Oh. And nothing behind the tree.
There is nothing behind the tree. A deep valley, that's all.
Right. But this ship is very huge, maybe 7 meter. 7 meter across. Yeah.
You see, you can't go over all the world to tell each human being this happened now on that way, that's now the truth. You can get the analysis from a computer, but to the people not will believe.
Right, right. So
If they see the ship by themselves, they get the picture, then for them it is true. But
Right.
if somebody else get the picture, they say that's a fake only.
Right, right. So did they tell you why they are not going to show up himself? I mean, themselves, why they don't come visibly to the people?
Yeah, you see, they told me different reasons. One of them is they thinks and means and says if they turn over the sky at day or night time and the people will see them, the earth people here, they will come to be afraid. Maybe they will turn over in their mind or something like that. And it will come a panic. The other thing, they say they have to be very careful about their own weaves from their own body and about the weaves from the earth humans. If they come together, they will turn over in their mind, because they are living in every case on a very much higher level than the people here. And if they go to show them by their flying around the earth, the humans, the earth humans, they will try to catch them. They will, by the Air Force, send up planes, fighters against them, and about all that they are very afraid.
But I think they have, much better science than us. So they can, protect themselves from the Air Force attack.
Yes, of course, that's very easy for them. But You see, I think it isn't useful. Why they shall show them to the humans if they go to fight against them? It will make trouble for them, for us humans from this earth, and maybe for other one. Because the Pleiadians, they aren't a single one who comes to Earth from other stars. These are the landing tracks again of one of both ships.
Is this also first time you got
The landing tracks.
landing track?
Yeah.
And this is the
West side now, and the ships they left to the north side, and there you can see how big are the trucks.
very big. So it was almost 7-meter diameter.
Now the landing trucks they have 182 centimeter each one, and 3 of them are by each ship. And that's a place where I got the first movie picture. There was a tree staying, how you see it there, where it's hanging over the ship. And that tree was eliminated later by Semjase too. And that picture I got, I think, February or March 1975 in the evening time, about 5:30. It was snowing, raining, dusty, and in the front between the tree and my film camera there was some people working, a farmer, an old man and a child. And if you have good eyes you can see the ship. It isn't in the front of the tree, it is a little bit behind the tree.
Yes.
And this flying doesn't the normal flying of these ships. That's for demonstration only. If they fly on the real normal way, you have seen there how I was moving the tree now. If they fly on the normal way, they have a good line without this foolish jumping and everything.
I see. Would you repeat it again? あの部分だけは
これじゃないね。
いや、これだよ。動いたでしょ、
もっと動いた気がしたかな。
だからね、あの部分だけを独立して使うことを考えるか
これでア
ら、
ップにしとこう。
引いてるところから少しずつ詰まった方がいいんじゃないですか。前をね。どこやったかな。
じゃあ、急にしてみますか。まだだね。やっぱり乾杯して。
ちょっと広げといてね。
これで。
まだだよ。When do you know when? いや、もうそろそろやりますか。
Now I think.
はい。
Just a moment. You see.
Ah, yes. 見えた今さん。
Because it comes to the front, overflies the tree, and then it jumps.
Right.
もう一回寄っとくからね。もう一回やってくれる。
もう一回
もっと先だけ寄っとくよ。
Again?
先だけ寄っとくよ。
いいかな。
Now it's going in. You see?
ああ、そうだ。うん、オッケー。いいよ、今ので。二段ズームで、オッケー。
いや、今じゃあ、引いてますかあんまりやってて、そのまま。
That's the
ちょっとこれ巻き戻す。
movie from
調子
Rumlikon
だったの。
where we was yesterday. You know, they're down the road with the
これ
cars.
近いかな。同じだね。
Mm-hmm. Did you say when did it happen?
Summer 1975.
Yes,
June or July.
yes.
見出し見てね。
And I've told you here the film is several times cut.
Somebody do it?
Man in Germany because I didn't understand anything to cut a film.
Oh, I see.
And then he was doing for me, and some pieces he took out and cut it to and put it together again. And
Still. 寄ったのもありますか？あ、これ自動車と一緒にね、素晴らしい。
you see, and the ship is about half away to the road there down.
あ
When we was staying yesterday by the forest,
あ、yes,
you remember?
yes.
That's the first place in Rumlikon we was yesterday. And here the ship is jumping away. There the film isn't cut on that place when the ship jumps away. It's nearly the speed of light and you can't see anything. It is here and it goes.
パッと消えるって。
There is another thing too.
Right. 消えた
You see, and at that time when the ship leaves,
Repeat it. Yes.
then was gone all the wind, all the voices of birds and everything what's happening around. Then you can't hear anything, you can't feel anything, not a light piece of wind or something. It all comes back at that time when the ship returns.
今まあテープ持ったけどこっちそうなんじゃない
And myself, by the camera, I had something like an electric shock.
インクに来てないんだよな。これ枝に来てんだよな。
いや、いい方にしてるしてる。ちょっと甘いみたいなね。
超山だな。
気持ちにだってもらうじゃないですか。
あ、気づいた。イラッとブルーちょっとさっきのが合ってたんだよな。
ちょっとずれた。
Could you repeat, please? どこが外した Can you repeat it?
上それ上のやつ
ほんとちょっとで勝ちやすそう。ちょっと待って、あ、ちょっとな。はい、じゃあもう違う。全然じゃあ横上。オッケー、そこ。
今いい
そこ。
ただ通転した時にどうなるかがちょっと問題。いい大丈夫だ。
Right. これの方がいいや。Beautiful craft. Is this the same one, same
Yeah.
day?
The same day. That's all the same film.
これやってみようか。
あ、やってくるやってくる。
いや、行っちゃったの。ね。
向こうが
That's
来るから。
working with my zoom and I was looking over the camera, not
ああ。
into the camera,
I
you know.
今勝手に行っちゃったんだよな。うまくいっちゃった。
これリピートしないで大丈夫ですね。
もうだってしょうがないでしょ。まんまに撮ってくれ。
あ、もちろん。これはもうずっとまんまでいってください。塗らないで。
ね。やらないとわかんないよ。
That's the satellite, you know, but it was today to get the picture there.
Oh, yes.
今日のやつでしょ。
When was this?
That was at the same month,
わかんないよな。
1975, December, June or
あ
July.
れがそう。ヨーロッパ。
やろうか、いっぺん。いっぺんやってください。
これはそうでしょ。だからこれまで広げるよね。
それで終わりました。
わかった？まだプロアピ入れてるからね。見える？
I think today I was walking too high up.
これで終わりました。
There I told her in telepathic way to move a little bit.
This 1975
Yeah, to 1975.
of what month?
June or July.
June or July? Yes.
ね。
It is very small. It's very far from here.
Yeah, it is. It's far behind.
Yes.
寝るかこれ。
え、どうですか？
15センチちょっと寝るけどね。これはよくわかんないでしょ。
お、変わっちゃった。
That's Hattu Hörnli.
どこだ？
一番上です。
That's south side. From there where we got yesterday the
Could
picture.
you repeat?
あ、ちょっと。
今度上を Yes, this is
これだろ？
where?
Hattu Hörnli, where we was yesterday. But only that's the south
ね
side.
こうね。
Yes.
これでわかるだろ？
はい。
There then she's hanging up now very high and then she jumps down behind the hill.
あ、急に降りてくるって。
Then she will scroll up again, fly up again, slowly, slowly in a zigzag line. You see her
あ、
there?
下へ
And
ポッと映ったね。あれ、もう一回行こうか、今の。パッと映るところ。ね。Can you repeat it again?
気がなくなったな。
Mhm.
あ、下へ寄るかなこれ長いから。
さっき上寄りがありますからね。
You see, if she jumps, there is always like a flash coming on.
そう。
And sometimes I got a small electric shock.
Oh, you got.
Each time when she was jumping,
You got this
why I
electric
don't
shock.
know.
Uh-huh.
That's the east side, where we got yesterday the pictures.
Oh,
There behind in the middle, you see, in the saddle, the mountain where we was this afternoon,
what is
where we was climbing up the road.
the month?
The mountain there behind where we was climbing up today by the cars.
I
you know.
see. What month?
Langenberg, I think, is the name, or something like that. Where we got today the pictures, you know.
1975?
Two, yeah. On, no, 1976. On March 28th or 29th of March.
So this is the first film which you could take 3 of the craft.
Yeah,
Craft.
yeah.
なんすか
気がしますね。
なんすかフォーカス
これ一個寄ろうか。
I think where leave all the 2 ships there, the film is cut, I think.
そうだ、これ京都とかの、あ、予言して。it's baffling.
You know, the wind there. And that wind is there up the whole year so strong.
やった方がいいかな、一回。動きあったっけ、これ。
わかんないんだよね。覚えてないの、これ。
これ記憶ないんだな。
あ、動きでした。
戻ってるな。なくなった。
Is he coming back again?
Yeah, several times. She jumps from the left to the right and back.
これにやるかな。
ちょっと揺れてるところやろうかな。ふらふらふらふらって揺れて。
You see, there's still wind on the range.
いなくなっちゃう。あ、光った今。モニターで見えた
When I left the place there, I was frozen outside and inside.
Yeah, it should be.
It's always very cold there, too in the summertime.
I see. But this is winter.
Yeah,
あ
that's
ー、光った光っ
winter.
た。あ、光ったところ寄ろうかな、後で。もう一回リピートして。
これはあれだけだな、物だけだな。これをこっち来たりする。
これこっち行ったりするんですか。これは
That's
もう引
my
っ張らせ
bad,
て。
my bad Zoom working.
This is bad zoom. I see.
If you try something to do boots, you know, don't happen such foolish things.
How can I adjust the frame?
見えたでしょ。だからやらない方がいいですね。
Yes. You see, right? It's okay. うわー、すごいね、これね。ピカピカって光るの。これズームしてるんだって、彼が。非常に下手なズームで申し訳ないけど。下の山見えてますか？
山見えない、これ見えない。見えたり見えない。
And too, with the camera, I was jumping because I was frozen and make like that. It rained. That's my working camera.
今下の山見えてますか？
今のは真剣です。
あ、これでまた山が綺麗。
You see here I have done exactly the same thing than in Rumlikan. I was looking over the camera and working with the zoom.
So you didn't see the window?
No.
No.
There always I was thinking to get a warm coffee.
これさっきね、多分かかってる。
Okay. Do you repeat it, please?
No, for the whole time the ship was staying always on the same place. It wasn't moving.
Yes.
Yeah, この後のやつを。
やるの？
え
山。聞くと円盤にピントがあって前に。
ゴミだらけだね。また光ったね。
On June 12, 1975, the Pleiadians directed Edward Meyer to the location where he would succeed in taking this remarkable 8mm movie footage. By comparing the size of known objects to that of the UFO, the approximate diameter appears to be 7 meters. Here the beam ship can be seen to float up and down in a gentle manner. But as we continue watching, we will soon realize that this film contains a rare sequence, the moment when the UFO disappears suddenly.
Beautiful craft.
Meyer says that the beam ship can travel through multiple dimensions. We assume that this is that moment of transformation. In this segment, not only does the craft disappear, possibly to another dimension, but it also returns. Next, the film is checked to determine if some type of trick has been used, beginning the examination where the object disappears and reappears. Now, examine the film frame by frame.
フィルムを一コマずつコマ送りにしてみる。
It is discovered that the actual disappearance occurs in only one frame, in less than 1/20th of a second. After extensive analysis was completed on this segment of the film, it became clear that there was no trickery involved. Now, examine the exact moment that the UFO reappears. This time as well, there is no detection of trickery. Surprisingly, when the craft appears, the frame becomes very bright. This means that there is some type of energy affecting the film itself. It occurs within 1/20th of a second, the exact time required for the ship to reappear. In June of 1975, Mr. Meyer set his 8mm movie camera on automatic, so both he and the beam ship could be captured in the same scene. Meyer explained that this is the location where he sat to wait for the craft to appear. Meyer took great pains to create this scene as he wanted to establish proof that he was indeed having contact with the Pleiadians. His method? Arranged to film he and the beam ship simultaneously.
And then the second time I was sitting here.
During the first few moments of this segment, the craft is not visible because the NTV video camera that filmed off of Meyer's original 8mm footage has a smaller viewfinder. The zoom work is being done by the Japanese video crew. The small camera is set on automatic and secured to the tripod.
The whole picture looks about 2.5 or 3 minutes.
The beam ship can clearly be seen floating silently and gracefully while posing overhead. Meyer says a strange calm prevails just prior to the appearance of the craft. Even the birds in the area stop their singing and movements, becoming very still and quiet. Perhaps it is because birds and animals have the ability to hear or have the sensitivity to detect the unseen energy or frequencies of the UFO. Meyer shows Yowie the location where the beam ship first appeared and explained that it moved from left to right, right to left, and then back again left to right. The beam ship can be seen hovering above the mountain at Hassenbo. Then suddenly the ship begins to move. Closely studying the movement of the craft, it seems possible that the object is suspended on a string, perhaps connected to a long pole. But carefully watch the branches of the tree, which is to the right of the screen. It is obvious that the wind is blowing fiercely. But the beam ship remains perfectly still. This observation leads us to believe that the ship is not a small model suspended by a string. If the ship were suspended by a string attached to a pole, a different form of movement would be seen. The beam ship can be seen to stop in midair, without any form of hesitation and no wind-related movements. If the object were a model suspended in some manner, it would react much differently in a strong gusty wind. This ship stops and does not waver. When the beam ship begins to move, it sails smoothly without any hesitation. This indicates that there is no physical obstruction of any kind. During a replay of the footage, a forward and backward movement will be observed as the craft stops, if it was suspended by something. For convenience sake, lines will be drawn where the ship stops and where it begins moving, affording the observation of any unusual wobbling or swaying. It is obvious that the beam ship stops abruptly.
テレビカメラでフィルムをクローズアップしてみると
Zooming in on the beam ship, one can see a light, possibly some type of energy, as it begins to move. The understanding of what this is, or could be, is limited. Only theories exist. From the analysis of this footage, we know that there is a gusty wind, yet in contrast, the beam ship remains stable.
At
this time, Meyer was using the zoom lens on the 8mm camera. A difficult feat for a man with one arm, and the reason for the lack of centering in the viewfinder. At times, the spacecraft emits a burst of light from the top of the cupola and the flange or rim of the circular object. While filming this segment, Meyer recorded the sounds of the beam ship, as indicated by the Japanese subtitles.
この時、マイヤー氏が撮った UFO の音を聞くと、UFO が近づくにつれて吹きつけてくるエネルギーの風がマイクに大きな音を。
Watching the footage and listening to the recorded sounds, one can readily determine that when the craft moves closer to the recorder, the strength of the noise increases, thus indicating the strong vibrational frequencies emitted by the ship. On March 29, 1976, Meyer took this outstanding series of photographs of 3 beam ships hovering over a wide valley near Bachtel Hornli. It is an extreme rarity to capture 3 UFOs in the same photograph, especially with the clarity of these. But to Meyer, this remarkable photography had become commonplace. The video crew hiked to the site where an old farmhouse stood near the edge of a steep mountain cliff. This is the location where Mr. Meyer filmed both still photographs and 8mm motion pictures.
No.
Meyer remembers that when he first arrived at the site, he was nervous, excited, and wanted to begin the experience immediately. Then, without warning, the beam ships arrived. As in previous segments, the ship is not affected by the strong wind currents. He also noted that they repeated the same stable movements exhibited in the past. In the lower part of the screen, automobiles can be seen traveling on this major thoroughfare. Meyer captured the same scene with one addition: a UFO hovering overhead. This amazing footage captures known objects, cars, and an unknown object, the beam ship, on the same frame. Here, the Japanese utilized the freeze frame technique in order to determine the size relationship of the beam ship to the car. This 1979 NTV footage shows the site where Meyer shot his 1975 sequence of the beam ship hovering near a farmhouse. As this footage dissolves to Meyer's original film, note the beam ship beginning an aerial display above a large tree which once stood near the farmhouse. Meyer recalls that he was guided telepathically to the location and that the weather was bad. Snow and rain fell throughout the day. Once again, the erratic movement of the craft gives the appearance of an object suspended by a string or wire. Close examination of the film clearly shows the craft circling behind the large tree. When the size of the beam ship is compared to that of the tree and the house, it becomes obvious that due to its size, it would be impossible to suspend with strings or wire. In addition, the top of the enormous tree can be seen to move as the craft passes over it. This movement can be attributed to the backwash of air created by the ship. Watch again. Once more, the branches can be seen to sway from the force of the beam ship. Mysteriously, within 3 hours after the filming, Meyer noted that the tree began to die. Inside of 3 months, the tree was gone, leading to the conclusion that perhaps the electromagnetic radiation or energy contained some harmful elements that might have killed the tree. This segment clearly illustrates that the Palladian beam ships are capable of transcending dimensions at will. Watch closely. The craft is seen hovering in the upper portion of the screen. Then suddenly, it will literally jump down to a point just above the knoll in the lower center of the screen.
You see, if she jumps, there is always like a flash coming on. And sometimes I got
UFO がこのような瞬間移動をするとき、なぜかわかりませんが、私の体に一瞬電気のようなショックを感じるんです。
why I don't know.
Now we will examine the film frame by frame. Analysis failed to detect any alteration or trickery in the film. At the moment of the dematerialization or jump, the scene becomes very bright, unreasonably bright. Could there be a correlation between Meyer feeling an electrical shock during the contacts and the film becoming brighter? Now analyze the beam ship's dematerialization scenes we reviewed earlier. 3 frames prior to the disappearance, a green exposure is observed in the lower part of the scene. The same phenomenon occurs within 3 frames of the return of the craft. It is believed that this film indicates that the beam ship is emitting some sort of energy within 3/20ths of a second, just before the ship dematerializes or rematerializes. We close this investigative report with some final comments from Mr. Edward Meyer.
The materialism way doesn't the true way for the life of a human being. There are 2 points who are very important, or they are very important. That's the materialism way and the spiritual way. They have to work together. not only one of them have to work. And to change this again to the real way, to the connected way by materialism way and spiritual way, they comes here again to teach the earth people over some few months.
So how
That's
many?
the only reason they have.
I
That's
see.
their own saying. Not to bring war to earth or to bring peace to the human here on earth by themselves. If we want peace and knowledge and love and everything here on earth, we have to change everything by ourselves as human beings from this earth.
その内容が
This true story that took place in Switzerland is far beyond common knowledge or understanding. The beam ship footage taken by Edward Meyer is astonishing, but it's so clear that it's almost too good to be true. Because of this, there are many people who do not believe this case is real. Despite this, the evidence presented in this video investigation has been backed by facts from many scientific fields of study. Still, each individual must personally decide for themselves their levels of beliefs concerning UFOs in general, and more particularly this case.